Hey there, guys. So, for those of you who do not know me yet, I will allow this banner to introduce me. It was designed by Alzika. It's for my LinkedIn page, but I really like it a lot, so I'm using it even here. Anyway, so on our topic, how to choose what to study in 2020 and beyond. Obviously, what to study at university. This is a simple task. Choose what you love so that you will never work for even a single day in your life just because you'll be doing what you love, right? And you would have obviously done it even if you were not getting paid. We hope. Yeah, if anyone ever tells you that nonsense, slap them and slap them and slap them and slap them. And tell them to not talk nonsense to you, and tell them also that you forgive them, for they know not what they say. Now let's talk about this topic in a serious manner, okay? This is a big decision, and unfortunately there isn't a lot of guidance out there or people who can actually tell you what to study, just because no one really knows you that well. You probably don't even. And also because there's a lot of weight on it, right? If someone tells you go do study X and then all of a sudden you grow up and find out you hate that stuff, then they've basically ruined your life or a big part of it, or wasted a couple of years of your life, and that you'll never get back. So that's a lot of weight, and so no one really wants to take that kind of responsibility. So even the smart people will err on the cautious side and rather not tell you what to study, maybe give you advice as to how you can find that, which is what I'm doing right now, right? So it is very certain that technology like AI is going to eliminate a lot of jobs that currently exist, and that it will also create new jobs that do not yet exist. Effectively means that you could actually be studying towards a job that doesn't even exist yet. Imagine that. Isn't that awesome? Make sure when you are choosing what you want to study that you're not choosing something that's going to get eliminated by automation or artificial intelligence and so on. Because research has shown that about 50% of the jobs that people do today will actually be replaced by robots and automated systems in the next 10 years. 10 years. And the unfortunate truth is that colleges are not going to stop teaching these courses or preparing people for these jobs that are going to get eliminated. That's because obviously if they stop that now, they will lose out on a lot of income. And also, if they tell you that, yo, look, this course you registered for, there isn't going to be a job for it when you're done, then that also sort of costs them money more than it costs you, because then they lose their source of income immediately. And so yeah, you need to do that homework for yourself, and always make sure that you know that what you are doing is going to stay relevant for as long as you... How long would you want to? As long as until retirement, I suppose. Also, that's also a very complicated thing, because with all the improvements that we are expecting, maybe we might start living to 100 and something years old on average, and then retirement might be like at age 90 or something. Who knows? But we'll see about that. Now, if you are already in university and you find that the course you are registered for is actually something that's going to be eliminated by artificial intelligence or automation of some sort, then you have two options, right? You can, one, either quit that course and immediately move into something that will stay relevant and so on, or two, you can also move into another course. You can also continue in that course that you're in, but whilst learning skills that will make you relevant. So maybe perhaps learning how to program or code or something like that, so that you can even be the guy who will automate the damn system, in which case you become the end of jobs, but at least you save yours. It's better than being a victim, right? And also something I forgot to quickly mention is, don't let anyone tell you study what you love, because sometimes you might actually love something that's unprofitable or useless really, or doesn't pay well. And so in which case you should really consider studying something that you don't really love, because love doesn't pay bills, eh? And I know that that's a lot, that what I just said now, but it's very true. Just because you love your job doesn't mean the job's going to pay the bills. You can still be stressed and unhappy in a job you love just because it doesn't pay you enough. So consider that when you want to study what you love. And yeah, I understand that obviously loving what you study does sort of help with dealing with the stress and the challenges that study might bring, but it's life, guys. c'est la vie. From this point, I'd like to give this video a little bit of structure, so I'm going to start numbering stuff. So these are more relevant for people who are not yet in university, though. That's why I'm putting that in a structured manner from now. So 1, the world is changing. So pick something to study. Jobs come and go, but you are probably not going to go as fast as some of those jobs are going to go. And so you need to make sure that you pick something that will stay relevant, like I said. And this involves you doing lots of researches into the 4th industrial revolution and what it means for jobs and stuff like that, and asking. A lot of times it's just because you didn't ask that you don't know. Go to some people in that field, ask them, guys, do you think this job's going to be relevant in the next 10, 15, 20 years? Yes or no, they will tell you. Rather than just assuming just because the university offers the course, that means it's going to stay relevant, okay? 2, job availability. There's probably a better way to say that in English, but focus. What I mean by this point is that, What I mean by this point is that there are some jobs that are like super full, as in like it's a nice job, but there are people chilling in the positions with 100 years more experience than you ever have, who are not leaving the posts, in which case, so by the time you graduate, you're not going to get a damn job. So it doesn't make sense to go and study something like that, right? Because you ultimately want to get a job. I'd like to hope and think so. And therefore, you probably want to study an industry where you will get in an industry or for a job where you will actually be employed in. So always make sure that you choose a job that you can actually get a job in. For example, it's highly unlikely that you are going to get a job as a university math professor if you only have an undergraduate math degree. You're probably going to have to go a bit further, because there are oaks with PhDs for days sitting in those posts and stuff like that. So think about those things. But then, of course, in South Africa, there's this interesting thing, of course, in that there are some industries that the country is trying to transform, i.e. have more representation of black people and people of color, in which case then it would be a good idea for you to target such a job, even if you don't have the necessary experience, because the government and so on and other rules in the country will allow you to get that job. Number 3, home country jobs. So there are lots of jobs that actually sort of tie you to the country in which you studied them, and in the sense that you can't actually work out of the country. And this is especially important if you one or either a refugee or blah blah blah, or not from the country that you are studying in. You need to consider that, because you might study something that makes you stay stuck in that country. And this is, of course, a very important, especially if you allow yourself to do something like fall in love with a Frenchman, in which case you are now in love with someone who stays in another country, and you might need to leave your own country to go to the other country. And if you go to the other country, now you will be unemployed, or you will be working in a position that is much lower than what you studied. So consider this. I think sometimes the people who study law can have that problem, and those who do accounting, for the principles are different in certain jurisdictions. I don't know why that was necessary. But anyway, 4, do not allow your sponsor to choose what you are going to study. Like really, I know it's a bit tempting and stuff like that, but if you really have another way, do that. But if you don't have a choice, then I mean, it's simple, right? You don't have a choice. Anyway, those are my points. I don't want to make this video too long. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section or DM me in whatever means possible. And I've got just a few more things I'd like to say. My grandma told me that if you click on the like button on this video, then you will be able to see the video in 3D. I haven't tried it yet, but you can try. But remember, my grandma said so. And then secondly, if you actually click on the subscribe button right now, you will be able to see this video in your mind. That's like 4th industrial revolution technology right there. Okay, I'm joking, of course, but good luck. Thank you for watching.